Okay, continuing on, news flash across the board late last night, this morning. I got the email, and there's already been a couple articles written about it, but RealPage has reached a settlement with the U.S. Department of Justice regarding revenue management software. We've covered this story for quite some time here on the Gray Report. And I don't know if this is the final conclusion of this saga, but it looks like we're all the way there. I'm going to go over some of the findings, and just to bring you up to speed, this is all to do with RealPage's, and there are other companies that have similar products, their revenue management software. Opponents of this revenue management software were claiming that the software RealPage facilitated landlords to be able to collude to raise prices together, and therefore artificially raising all of the rent prices because they were basically, again, this is what the Biden administration and the Justice Department was alleging, is that it was allowing landlords to just collude into a cabal and say, hey, we're all going to raise prices together. If we all raise prices at the same time, renters can't do anything about it. The reality is quite different from that, however, because while RealPage has changed their product and how it operates, and it's not using nearly as much public or proprietary data, it's usually using more just the information that the property itself is providing to eliminate kind of any semblance of kind of collusion and price fixing. That did not stop the allegations in the lawsuits. And there have been several settlements of multi-millions of dollars of where property management companies had to pay out to plaintiffs who weren't necessarily admitting any guilt, but they just wanted the problem to go away. RealPage did not accept any payment settlement, but this is what they did agree to. So it says the settlement reflects RealPage's longstanding commitment to compliance and responsible innovation, rabble, ensuring our products continue to benefit both property owners and residents. Okay, so first is no findings or admissions of liability. The agreement includes no financial penalties, damages, or findings or admissions of wrongdoing. I will say that while that is true, they have changed how their software works. And they've never said that the way it was working was illegal or improper, but it was just trying to accomplish the same thing in a way that was very clearly on the right side of the law, which, in my opinion, it was always very clearly on the right side of the law. It was just public opinion was moving things one direction. Second bullet point, this is more for RealPage customers, is continuity for customers. There is no disruption to customer operations. All RealPage solutions remain fully available, compliant, and configurable to meet evolving legal requirements. I think they're saying, like, hey, look, nothing's going to change your products right now. Don't give us a call.
Right.
But part of that also sounds like it's configurable to meet evolving legal requirements. So, like, are you changing something? You have changed something, or what else are you going to be changing? Okay, the next bullet point is formalizing product modifications already made or planned. The settlement essentially commits RealPage to the modifications to its RealPage management solutions that it has been implementing since over a year ago. So they're saying that they didn't do anything wrong, but they are also saying, like, well, we made changes to the way we were doing it, and we're going to continue to do it the way that we changed. Instead of, they could have said, we can now go back to what we were doing.
Right. They did make some changes.
And then the last piece, which I find is really interesting, is independent oversight. RealPage has agreed to an independent monitor to confirm the ongoing compliance of our revenue management products, reflecting our confidence in their integrity and our long-standing commitments to responsible operation and innovation. So they're going to have somebody watching over their back for a while.
Hired a full-time babysitter.
So, I would say that, so what does this mean? What I think this means is at least that there's no longer a risk floating out there for property management companies who are using these revenue management products. Again, it's the same types of like pricing models that the airlines use, that grocery stores use, hotel rooms. So again, we've made this argument multiple times. I know housing, there are some special protections on, you can't discriminate. We obviously have fair housing, and housing can be treated a little bit differently. But what is so different about housing, as it is an essential for life. I don't think you have a right to a house. I'm more like a negative rights versus positive rights type of person. But people like the idea of, hey, you need a house, so there are going to be special provisions. But food is also essential for life, and there's all kinds of pricing algorithms that allow commodity prices to be traded, and those aren't regulated, or it's not illegal to use an algorithm to find the market efficient price or where the market is on that. And then what we've talked about multiple times also is that if RealPage revenue management was driving up all the rents, why the hell have rents been negative for the last couple of years?
Right.
They're not doing very good. It's not doing a very good job. Like, where's the collusion? Are we all colluding to lower rents?
Yeah.
And so if the market is moving rents up, it'll suggest the rents should be higher. If the market is moving down, it's going to suggest rents are moving lower. We use a RealPage revenue management product called AIRM, AIRM. It's an AI revenue management product. And it often finds opportunities to increase rents, but it will also tell us we need lower rents. The only argument that can be made, I think, is that it makes the market a little bit more efficient. And so, in the past, a landlord may have only adjusted the rent once a year. Like, okay, this year, 2026, our 2 bedrooms are going to be $1,500.
Right.
That's the price for the year. Set and forget it, nice and easy. There's nothing wrong with that, except if all of your competitors move the rents to $1,600 or $1,650, you're leaving money on the table. All those leases you signed at $1,500.
Right.
And so this will basically tell you, hey, you might want to bump your rents up. Everyone's already increased the rents, and by the way, you're 98% occupied.
Yeah.
You're going to make, even if you move down to 95% occupancy, but you sign some leases at $1,600, you're going to be generating more revenue overall.
Right. And correct me if I'm wrong, it's purely a recommendation. It doesn't do it for you. It's not increasing the price. Still, as an operator, as a property manager, you have to get into your system, establish that price, negotiate with the tenant across the table as you're signing and executing the lease. It's not automatically updating your market rent without your consent.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And it also, there's inputs of, what you're actually optimizing for. It could be you want to optimize for the highest rent in the market, or you can optimize for a certain occupancy percentage. Or you also might want to be optimizing for a rent roll or a lease expiration forecast that is more manageable. So, you want to spread those leases out. Or hey, I want to sign more short-term leases. You can it's all about incentivizing the types of leases you want prospective renters to sign. And it allows us to not lose as much on days vacant. So someone comes in and they want to rent that 2-bedroom for that $1,500, let's say, but they want to move in a month. Well, a system like AIRM or other revenue management products, they'll say that's fine, but it's actually going to be $1,510 if you want to move in a month. If you move in tomorrow, though, we can make it $1,490.
Yeah.
And so it takes in that that vacancy loss into account, so it makes your whole operation much more efficient. Less days on the market, because it takes into account that vacancy loss of we can let this sit, but that's money that's burning a hole in our pocket that we're losing essentially.
Right.
So it's really interesting.
Just feels like in consideration of open markets and free enterprise, it seems like a tool that every sector of business should be implementing in order to drive bottom line and ultimately provide sound guidance to you as the owner operator of whatever asset, whatever business you're owning and operating, what your price point should be.
I think I agree. I think the only pushback is not from a legal standpoint. It's a user experience. Does it improve your user experience by saying I can choose a quicker move-in date or a time for my lease to expire that gives me a better deal, and I like having that control?
Yeah.
Or is it confusing? And that's the negative feedback on dynamic pricing, whether it is airlines or hotels or a house or whatever, or some fast food restaurants talk about doing dynamic pricing also, or surge pricing. Is that it's it can be frustrating to be what do you mean that this price may change in
Yeah.
a week or two. Like, you've given me the quote. Why is it going to expire? Or like instead of it just, why is the price changing? If I move in on this date, it's
Right.
different.
So maybe just some more transparency up front to the consumer,
yeah.
our tenants.
Transparency and education. If someone's educated on like what this is, how to use it, and how to take advantage of it, like how this is going to benefit you, not just benefit the landlord or the operator, people will be all about it. But it's when you are used to, what are your 2 bedrooms going for? $1,500. You're like, I just want the one price, and when I call you back in a month, sometimes we discourage like responsible, non-procrastinating people in the industry. If you want to rent an apartment like a couple months out, like it's not an option. Like, okay, we're gonna write your name down on a wait list. But like, it's like, no, your move-in date, if it's further out than, a couple weeks, we may not even like show you that it's available. The availability only goes out so far.
Yeah.
And so, we don't really reward people that are planning ahead too much.
Right.
But the planners are.
Almost give a better deal to the folks that are in kind of somewhat of immediate, not panic mode, but
if you
need
are
a place to sleep tomorrow.
Yeah. If you are, nothing gets a property manager, leasing consultant, anybody more excited than like an immediate move-in.
Yeah.
Immediate move. You want to move in today? Great, we got it.
Yep.
It's great.